Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, my name is Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. That's what I want to talk
It's
about.
not.
Can I
It's
talk
not your
about
name. That's not your name.
Can I talk about it, please?
What's your name?
Dow.
That's not your name. Okay, you can sit in the corner. We're doing this episode that I prepared today.
I prepared an episode about Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. She won't let me do it.
We're doing one that I prepared today.
She says it's too boring for her, and she won't let me do it
an episode
this week.
That
She says I can do it next
prepared.
week.
Yes.
But I prepared it for
But you're not
going to
hear it next week either because we have a different episode coming out next
shit.
week. So maybe in 2 weeks. So stay tuned. Wait, you want to promo it? What is it?
Okay, we're doing a really hot episode soon, hopefully soon, about Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, which is super cool. And it's actually going to change the future, but we apparently can't talk about it in the present.
It's sexy. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that episode. It's going to be really, really, really good.
It's actually really pro-worker.
It's going to be really pro-worker.
It is, but
and it's going to change the future.
It will.
So subscribe so you don't miss it. And also rate us on iTunes very highly so that you don't miss it. Okay? Now they know.
Thank you.
You happy?
No.
All right. Also check out our Patreon because Steve talks about this shit all the time on Crypto Corner. It's patreon.com/sticky, STIKKI. He does a 3-hour live stream all about cryptocurrency every single week. A lot of people have made a lot of money from that live stream, I've heard. So
It's where they let me talk.
And they let him talk.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, if you're into Steve talking, then go over there.
Thank you.
Would you like to hear something that I put together today?
What's up?
Okay, so I wanted to do this topic about balance that came up a couple episodes ago. I briefly touched on it, but I've been thinking about it a lot, mostly because, this is a topic that we kind of went over a couple years ago. Balance is such a general term, but the specifics of this topic, we did a topic on a few years ago.
Yes.
But we are in a new place, a new environment, and I feel like I'm refinding my footing again. I don't know if you feel that way too.
I do, but I'm also confused because honestly, the Olympics is going on. I'm thinking about gymnastics balance.
Oh, well, gymnastics isn't happening. It's the
footing.
Winter Olympics right now.
Just talked about
it's not the Summer Olympics, you fucking idiot.
Sorry.
Go ahead, do your topic.
What kind of balance?
Okay, so so a couple weeks ago I was like, I figured this shit out. I was like so stoked to do an episode on this because I was like, oh my god, I unlocked the key, the magic, the mystery, everything that I wish I would have been told. It's some shit they don't tell you. I gotta tell the people about it.
Yes.
And what I had discovered was that when my life is in balance, everything just flows naturally, and it feels like it should always be this easy if you keep it in balance. And for me, what my hardest thing to do was let go of working too much and stressing about work too much. So I started incorporating more fun and like life,
recreation.
Recreational
You've had
things.
none of that.
Yeah, I don't do it very well. I don't know how to relax. The first 2 days of vacation, it's useless. I don't even know why we pay for those days because I can't stop thinking about work and stressing out. And also I'm like trying so hard not to think about work that I'm stressing myself out because I don't think I'm relaxing enough. Yes. And then I'm like trying so hard to relax that I'm not relaxed.
By the way, it's fun vacationing with Nikki.
It's really fun. So after
there are moments where it is fun. Though.
By the third day, I think I have a drink or two in me, and I'm like, okay, we're in a new place.
You can let go. It takes you a while to let go.
It does.
You can't let go.
And I don't know why. Like, it's really always been very hard for me.
Because you're your father's daughter, and he can't let go either, and you guys have that trait together. And yeah, it's genetic as fuck.
It comes from a place of worry, like making sure that everything is secure. Yep. And I think, for my dad, he grew up poor and in poverty, and it took a lot to get out of poverty. And so you always have in the back of your mind that you could slip back into that,
Yes.
And if you don't cover all your bases. And so he's constantly stressing. And so he taught me the same thing, to constantly be stressing. Every time I thought that I was okay and I could maybe relax a second, he'd catch me. He'd be like, you forgot to do this. And I'd get yelled at and it's and I'd cry and it'd be a whole thing. Yeah. So I always feel like somewhere I'm dropping the ball.
There's someone
I just
looking over your shoulder
know
and they're noticing you're dropping the ball.
Somewhere and I don't even know where I'm dropping the ball, but somewhere out there I am.
But that's the best part is as your husband, and I mean, frankly, I've been with you for 10 years. I've seen up close and personal how that little voice in your head affects you. It's so fascinating because you'll just be sitting there all of a sudden and just no matter what, you just like, I know I'm fucking up. And it's like, whoa, you're fine. Like you're good. But you're like, no, I know I'm fucking up.
Especially when I'm ahead of schedule. I'm like, this doesn't happen. I don't know how everything's done by 2 p.m. This doesn't happen. I'm fucking up somewhere.
And yet there are people who look at you and go, how does she get all that stuff done?
Yeah, it's like...
But then I know the inner workings and I'm like, it's a mess.
It's a blessing and a curse. Because I do get shit done, but also I never enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that was the part where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it this year. Like this year, I'm going to have maybe I have to tell myself it's a gap year where like I just don't do anything because it's a transition for sure. Mm-hmm. I also am not doing the things that I was hustling for in LA. Like when I was really hustling for the entertainment industry and a career there. And I'm not doing that here. So I can chill there. And we have enough to cover our bills and all, like all the basic life stuff is covered. So I'm like, okay, let me see what this like chill thing is like.
What's Chill Nikki like?
It was
I have to say Chill Nikki is just as intense, but she's just enjoying what she's doing more.
Yes.
That's it.
Right. Well, you know, I get obsessed with things. Yes. I don't know if you know this about me.
I'm aware. But
I get really hyper obsessed with one thing at a time. And right now it's poker. I don't know if you guys know that. So the thing that happens with that, and this is what happened with acting too, was I get very obsessed with the results too. Like if I'm putting that much time into something and practicing so much, if I am losing, then I get so motherfucking sad. And like I almost attach it to my identity and self-worth.
Yeah.
That like
you definitely do.
Yeah, and my intelligence, like I just like everything, it's all my fault that things are going so wrong. And so yeah, I was on a downswing in poker and I was beating myself up. I was getting so pissed. But then I wake up in this house and it's beautiful. And I walk around our neighborhood, which we live around lakes, and there's ducks and there's like bunnies, and it's beautiful. Yeah. And I went on my morning walk and I'm listening to podcasts, and I decided I'm not playing poker for like at least 3 days, you know, just like at least shit. Like a break.
You're in recovery.
Even though I'm listening to poker podcasts.
Yeah, of course you are. And you're reading game theory.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to like improve on things. Anyway. Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast where he's talking about how when he is happy in all the other areas of his life, poker just comes easy because it's fun again. It's like it's just a game. You're having fun. It's an enjoyable activity, right? And you're not so worried about the results. And that was true for me. I took a big break. I did film Big Mood. I ended up not playing poker for a week. And when I came back, I had my biggest winning session I'd ever had. And because I wasn't concerned with the results, I was very much happy with the rest of my life. And I took a look at the rest of my life and everything was actually really balanced. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I've ever had that ever. Like, I agree with
that.
And so I was like, I got to tell the people about this. But like poker, when you're winning,
Jesus Christ,
when you're winning, it seems like it's so easy. You've always been winning.
You didn't take poker off. You're playing poker right now in your head.
No, I'm just saying this is the analogy.
Yeah.
Is that it actually I got tricked because yes, my life was balanced, but that doesn't mean I'm automatically going to win in poker too. You know, it correlated with a very good winning session, but I thought, I'm just going to constantly be winning now. Because the rest of my life is fucking awesome. And I'll just think about that when I'm playing poker.
That's actually woo-woo shit.
Yeah. And so when I hit another downswing, I was so confused. And I was like, wait, but I'm talking about how awesome my life is balanced. Wait, this can't be. I thought I found the key. So anyway.
At least you're not insane.
Right. At least that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was thinking about, because then I'm like, okay, fucking back to square one. And I thought about how with anything that you're good at, you have a system in place, like a base
Yes,
system.
very much so.
You have to have that.
Yes.
And with poker, when I was going back to square one, the system is GTO. It's game theory optimization. It's just like the baseline. When I'm first sitting at a table, I'm going to play like this. It's like what the simulations say is the correct best decisions you could possibly make during that time. Now you're going to adjust it based on who you're playing with, but that's the baseline system. And if you can continuously come back to that system, supposedly, statistically, in the long run, it will be profitable.
Yeah.
And I think that is how life is too, because when that downswing happened again, I felt like the rest of my life got out of balance again, where I was like, nothing's enjoyable. I suck at everything. I'm doing everything wrong.
You're spinning out.
I'm crashing. Yeah. And because like with poker, there's this base system, I created a base system for life too. It's easier to get back on track. And I just wanted to share kind of like that creating systems thing to fall back on when everything else kind of goes crazy. Because what I've realized throughout life and poker and acting and everything I've ever pursued in my life, relationships, everything, is that you can't control the results. You can only control your actions.
Yeah, for sure.
You can only control and give yourself the best chances of something working out, but you don't get to decide the results.
Yeah, it's like a stunt driver who gets into a car accident. They're fucking good.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But like somebody hit them.
Yeah,
and there's nothing
they've
they could do.
practiced every technique in the fucking book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're really well versed in it.
Doesn't matter.
It's like
there's variance.
Think about our past relationships where like I wasn't different. I was the same. I treated them the same that I treat you. It just wasn't a match.
Yeah, exactly.
But imagine if I was like, well, I'm just bad at relationships then.
I should just throw everything out.
Just throw it away.
Yeah.
Relationships suck. The whole, like, let's just paint a broad stroke and every relationship suck.
I'm just not a relationship person.
Or I'm just not good at it.
Yeah,
I'm not lucky in love. I'm not good at love. I'm not, it's just not in the cards for me. And so then that's how you think. And then you create your reality based around that. And there's all these different areas in life that I think if you are listening right now, there's probably an area that you've decided that you are unlucky in or you're bad at, and you've kind of shaped your beliefs over time, again and again, confirming to yourself that you're bad at that you're not going to succeed in that area, and it's fallen apart.
It's called confirmation bias.
Yeah, and you don't have a system yet that gets you back to a stable state. And the dangerous part about that is not, it's like, okay, so what? I don't have love, but I'm going to fucking kill it in my career. A lot of people, you hear that a lot. But the problem is, if any of these life bucket areas are below 50%, it starts to affect all the other life buckets. So these are the categories of life that you should kind of have in balance. And you could do a little checking on them every day to make sure everything, the systems, the engines are running properly. But the areas are money and finance, your relationship/social life, your family, your career/job, your physical health, your mental state/mental health, and your creativity/free time. Yes. So if any of those buckets are running near the bottom, if they're running below 50%, you might notice that they're drastically impacting the other areas of your life. So, if, for example, if you got laid off from your job, that would affect your money. If your money is affected, it usually affects relationships. Statistically, that is the number one cause of divorce is financial problems. Yep. So it's not just, that area is doing bad, but all this other stuff is doing good, so I'm not going to worry about it. No, you have to plug the leak. You have to have something in place to help you get that area above 50%. Otherwise, it's going to spiral all the other areas. And I guess whenever I even looked up, I Googled life balance tips and stuff, and no one talks about this. And I think,
what don't they talk about?
Because I got a lot of articles on work-life balance, but nothing about life balance.
Okay, so define life-life balance.
So life-life balance is having all of those areas, having a system in place in which you are taking care of all of those areas. Okay. And if one is drastically weak, that you are working to fix that one.
Gotcha.
Because ignoring it, like in my example before, I have a few friends who just got burnt on relationships. So they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna be single forever and I'm gonna work on my career. And I get that. Like, I've totally been in that state of mind before. But the problem is when, like, let's say you have a bad day in your career, you spiral out.
Yeah.
Because you think, because now you think nothing is going on.
Find your self-worth.
You're putting so much into that one basket, and then also, not having having a hole in any of these areas of life, it just kind of makes you incomplete. It feels like there's a feeling of incompleteness.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying you're an incomplete person. You're a whole person, but having all these areas balanced will help you just be more happy in life. And it's less about needing all these areas to be perfect, but more about just creating a balance so that if one's kind of dripping, you're not dying.
Can you describe what it's like when like your life balance is off kilter? Because I think maybe some people don't even necessarily know when it is. Because I know people, a lot of people who are maybe doing what you're talking about, who I gotta say, they, at least in the moment, they don't necessarily know that they're not balanced out.
Well, I guess it would. I mean, you kind of are in charge of that internal gauge, but one big like sign of it is your physical health starts declining a lot. Your physical health is probably impacted the most by any one of these areas dropping. And stress causes a lot of disease in your body. Like, I didn't know that until I went to a nutritionist about SIBO, my gut health issue. And she was telling me how much stress causes physical disorders, like really lifelong, like bad long-term stuff if you don't get that sorted out. And so I thought she was going to put me on a diet or like tell me different exercises or some shit. No, she told me to cut out things from my work life.
Right.
The first thing she asked was what my work life was like. And I told her all the different projects I was part of and like how many things I do in a day and all this stuff. And she's like, no, you got to cut like 3 of those things out at least. And I was like, I don't know how to do that.
No, you do not.
I have no idea. I had no idea what to cut out.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, because you cannot continue. Because not only do you have the stress of work and then any stresses that come up with family or relationship, but you also, there's environmental stress. So the air quality is actually something you can't see and a lot of us don't notice and we don't realize.
I do know that I live in Nevada.
I didn't know. But she was like, yeah, there's an environmental stress that's also impacting your body. Your body's like just fucking fighting all day to keep your system running. And it has all of this shit going in it. And that's on top of like if your diet's bad or your exercise is off. So she's like, yeah, because you have to do so much to like already to like keep your body healthy and balanced, the stress from your work is going to kill you.
Okay.
And there's been so many people, how often do you hear about like those people that work like 60, 80 hours a week and then they have a heart attack?
Dude, I watched a guy die who did that.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Guy peed at my old job. He like dropped dead in the middle of work. Like he just dropped, hits a table. They said he had a heart attack. And then the worst part of it is 100% true, by the way. The worst part of it was finding out that he had nobody. Like we found out that he had nobody. Like he had people at work and that's it. Like nobody came to his funeral. Like it was just everyone from the office. Like we had like a gathering for him and like it was just people from the office. He had nobody.
That's so sad.
It was so sad. But I found out he was just one of those work, like live to work people instead of work to live. So he was just giving it all to his job. And like, you know, he was such a nice guy too. I remember him coming in all the time. We talk about football. He was a big Raiders fan. talking about Al Michaels, who's the owner of the Raiders, and he would always just bitch about things. And it was funny. Mm-hmm. And like he was a good guy, and it's great because I get to remember his memory and stuff. But at the same time, like nobody really knew the guy. Mm-hmm. Like, but except for he was a great, nice person. Joy to be around. Every time you walked into a room, nicest guy you could ever meet.
Yeah.
But then he just drops dead one day, and then you realize how dark their existence is. This nice beacon of light, this great person who always just gives people so much.
Yeah.
You find out like maybe their home life was so much darker than you ever would have imagined.
That's so sad.
Very sad. And the way that he died was brutal. So.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
So,
not to bring it down. I watched
I don't know how to
die.
transition from that.
Is that okay? Can I
I had other things to say, but I don't know how to transition away from that.
Hey, Mark, hit the breakup button.
So a lot of people are like, well, I mean, it's not easy to like, okay, I don't have a relationship. I don't have love. Like, how am I supposed to just have it? You know, how am I supposed to work on that area of life? And there's a couple things that you can do. And this is like for love, for money, for whatever, is if you're feeling lack in a certain area, again, you can't control the outcome. So either way, you can't control the outcome. So it doesn't hurt you to do some of these things that may sound a little woo-woo, but they worked for me, which was, I mean, that's anecdotal, but like when I didn't have money I was so broke, and I was like, I don't know how to pay rent. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Instead of like freaking out about it and like spiraling, I just started pretending I had lots of money. And every time I got a bill, I was like, I'm so thankful I could pay this bill.
Which is hilarious.
Like, yeah.
That is the way to do it.
Yeah. And like you have to almost like have that energy first to attract that into your life. And like if you're having trouble with love, like you just need to do more loving things. So when I was short on money, I was like donating money. I don't know why.
That is really irresponsible and stupid.
It sounds like it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds ass backwards.
No, I know what you're saying, because I remember getting dumped and it was like really brutal and stuff. And I remember coming home to an empty apartment and saying, honey, I'm home.
Yes.
And like stuff like that really helped me actually.
It actually
was like,
does.
yeah, it really gave me like a little bit of light in the darkness, you know?
Because it's weird. Like, it's like, I don't know if I want to compare it to placebo effect or what. I don't know if there is a comparison. But you just got dumped. Let's say you didn't do that stuff. And instead you just thought about how evil women are and how relationships all suck. You think that you would have been open to dating me 2 weeks later?
No.
Fuck no. And so like you wouldn't be open. You close yourself off to the thing that you want the most when you react in a way that portrays lack
100%
in that area.
100%.
And because you can't, like when I was talking about not being able to control the outcome no matter what, because you know, whether you're pissed about relationships or not, like you're not gonna get a better outcome. So why not give yourself the best chance by
when you seed this beautiful moment, when you actually seed that you're not in control, and then I think you can really enjoy things more.
Yeah, exactly. Because you stop taking life so seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you have a lack of something, it's almost like that's all you can see. And it consumes the rest of your life. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, of like one bucket being below the 50% threshold. It can sneak up on you and start to consume, and like almost like a succubus, like suck the life out of everything else in your life that you might have otherwise enjoyed. Super
great example of this that I've seen many times, which I wish I hadn't seen, but I've seen it so many times, is anytime I talk to short guys, they'll talk about how short they are the whole time, but in a way that's like, well, chicks don't like me because I'm short. And like, what's up with that?
Yes.
And it's like, bro, just fucking stop it. Because I've met short guys who also slay.
Yeah.
Because they just make fucking jokes the whole time and they don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
And that's the whole thing, is like, they don't even necessarily make jokes about how short they are, but if they do, they own it and they don't give a fuck. And they're like, yeah, guess what? No, guess what? I'm not short and all this shit. But like, it works. It actually works because they're confident.
Yeah.
Right? They show confidence about whatever the fuck it is. And then nobody cares that they're physically short, like, because their personality is fucking big.
It's true.
It works. But when you just look at what you don't have, and you talk about what you don't have,
everybody sees it, like everyone's judging you for it, or even you're just judging yourself for it. I don't know, but it becomes your identity.
It's purgatory
almost. And if you ever did get money or something, like let's say you're like, oh my God, I have no money, and then you ever did get it, it became so much a part of your identity that you're poor that it doesn't stay with you.
Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't chicks out there who are like, I don't date guys who are under blah 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 height.
Oh, there totally are.
Of course there are.
Those aren't the ones you're gonna attract.
Exactly. Or maybe you will, but because
you're changing their mind.
You don't. You're just like, dude, I am fucking awesome. Who gives a shit? Like, who knows?
Yeah,
just who knows? Right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
You don't know.
You'll never know the outcome. So don't think that you don't ever think you know.
I can already tell.
Underconfidence and overconfidence wise, thinking you know the outcome to something is always going to be bad news.
Horrible.
And that leads me to my next thing, which is about like loving the process more than the results, because the results are so fleeting. It's like okay, let's say you want to climb to the top of that hill. Okay, then you do it, and it's like, okay, you're only on the top of the hill for a second. Like, what about the entire way up there?
Absolutely.
Were you enjoying that? Or were you just like, I fucking hate this, but at the top of the hill, it's going to be so cool? Because then if that's all that it is, then once you're up there, it's such a snap of the fingers moment. The rest of your life is empty. You have to enjoy the run up the hill.
Anytime you talk to people who went through some shit, they always talk about it like, and I got through it. You know what I mean? So they talk about it and they're kind of like, they're kind of remembering how hard it was, like every hurdle they had to jump and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But they talk about it like, man, if I didn't go through that, you know what I mean? Like
it enriches your life in a way, even though it fucking sucks.
Yes.
Like you gain so much in experience and things that you can bring with you to the top of the hill.
Yes.
It's like you're gathering flowers along the way so that at the top of the hill you can build a little home that's pretty or whatever.
Me and Nikki will both tell you, we don't know how we got to where we got to. I have no
fucking clue.
I don't even know that I could do it again. But man, am I appreciative of every step of the way.
Yeah.
Like I really, really am. Because every step of the way informed the next step and the next step. And yeah, there was stumbles and all this shit. But man, am I glad to be where I'm at.
So much variance.
Yes. But, that reminds me of my favorite ever quote. Not, I maybe have done this before on the show. Obviously I have. But especially on shit they don't tell you after dark. But, it's Winston Churchill. He talks about, every day you make progress, every step be fruitful, but there will lay before you an ever lengthening, ever ascending, ever improving path. And this, so far from discouraging, only adds to the joy and glory of the climb. And that to me is everything. Like that's what life is. It's like you got to go uphill sometimes and it's going to suck, but this is part of the journey and it's beautiful.
Yeah, you really do have to be present and cognitive about those moments.
Yeah.
And for the better or for worse, every position in life is temporary. So if you're going through something rough, just know it's temporary. And if you're going through something great, that's also temporary. This too shall pass, that saying. You often hear it when people are going through a rough time. But it's also true for people that are going through a great time. So,
bro, life is temporary.
Yeah. So just enjoy it while you have it. Enjoy all the moments.
Yeah.
Because that's really, I think, what it all is about. But that's going off to airy fairy world. I wanted to talk about the processes. So, like, if you are to enjoy the process, what sort of process, what baseline system can you create for yourself that it's not a chore to balance your life out? Everyone's like, how do you juggle all these things and it's so stressful and it is it's a lot. Okay, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can kind of create a system where you enjoy checking on each area and keeping them thriving, the juggling part feels more enjoyable. It's like it's not such a train wreck where you're like trying to stay afloat. It's like a fun, like you're having fun along the way.
Well, there's a beauty and responsibility too that I really believe in. Like even like our weekly chores that we have.
Yeah.
Like there's a beauty in it. Like there's something I take a lot of pride in with it. Like moving to where we live now in Vegas, I have to do the trash every week and I actually really like it. It's
like you're nurturing something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that human
I'm doing something for our house.
Yeah.
Like when our house needs this and I'm doing something for it and I can see the progress myself.
Yeah, and you see things like start to grow and thrive and stuff.
Yeah, and I emptied out our garage that way. Like through every week, just bulk trash day. I'm fucking getting rid of a shit ton of boxes. But like, and that sounds corny, but like I really do see like myself building that out, even though I'm emptying something.
No, that's great. Actually, you just reminded me of another little thing I do. When I was talking about the bills and saying like, oh, I'm so thankful I could pay this bill. If that's not working for you, another thing that has helped me a lot is you could do this with every area. I started doing it with self-care and like in the mental health category, because I realized I had a lot of like negative self-talk, but treating my body and me as a person as if it's like a pet that I'm taking care of. So I need to feed it, and I need to feed it good food, and I need to talk to it nicely and tell it good things.
That's nice.
And I need to take it for a walk. I need to like exercise it, right? Like I'm taking care of a pet.
Yeah.
And you could do that with your finances too. You treat money like you're taking care of a pet. Like you don't just fucking throw it at trash and spend it on junky things and like get rid of it. You save it, you invest it, you help it grow, you spend it on things that nourish you. It's like the same thing.
Buy NFTs?
Sure.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
Again,
well said.
Patreon.com/sticky if you want to learn more about that. But same with relationships, friendships, any area of the life that you're struggling with. You try treating it like you would a pet. I
like that.
Like it brings out that more nurturing quality, and where it's fun, or not fun, but like enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're a caretaker of something.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's part of my personality profile anyway. Is I like to
take care of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like an easier thing for me to just like, okay, I'll adopt that. No problem.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, when we come back from our break, I will go over some maybe helpful things. If you don't have a system in place.
What to sell?
Maybe some helpful things that you can incorporate into your life.
Maybe not. Maybe they're not helpful at all.
Maybe they suck. I don't ever pledge to know the answers.
Love it. All right, great. With that, we'll be right back.
Buy what we tell you to buy. Steve, what you know about microdosing?
Are those really tiny cars?
No, they are not. But thanks for guessing a very weird guess.
Okay.
So microdosing, for those who do not know, is a really kind of fairly new advancement where you're taking like micro doses. A lot of people think of it as psychedelics, in forms of psychedelics, microdosing some sort of like psilocybin or something like that. But you can also microdose THC. And THC, this is not about getting high. I know when you think of THC, you think about marijuana and you think about getting high. But if you microdose THC, it actually helps benefits CBD working more efficiently. It helps with reducing anxiety, reducing stress, helping you sleep better, helping aches, pains, muscle soreness, and that stuff. And Lumi, our sponsor for today's episode, has this in gummy bear form. So not only is it like a little microdosing so that you can sleep better and have reduced stress and anxiety and back pain and whatever other pains and stuff, but you also get it in a really nice, flavorful, delicious gummy form.
I got a buddy who swears by this stuff, by microdosing gummies, as far as not just helping with reducing anxiety, but also just helping him sleep.
Yeah.
So, I've heard very, very good things about this.
And I love CBD products, and THC microdosing along with CBD helps the CBD to actually like work more effectively, which I said before, but I just want you to know that like it's true.
So, Microdose is available nationwide. To learn more about microdosing THC, just do a quick search online, or you can just go to microdosegummies.com and use the code STDTY to get free shipping and 30% off your first order.
Links can be found in the show description, but again, that's microdosegummies.com and code STDTY. All right, guys, wanted to give a shout out because this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Relationships take work, as you may or may not have learned from the show.
I mean, you should have.
A lot of us will drop anything to go help someone we care about. We'll go out of our way to treat other people well. But how often do we give ourselves the same treatment? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hitting the gym, making time for your haircut, or even trying therapy, you are your greatest asset. So invest the time and effort into yourself like you do for other people.
Look, You know the term, if you're on a plane and then that plane is crashing. And
you got to put your oxygen mask on first.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say you gotta scream, "Oh my fucking God, the plane's going down. We're all going to die."
I don't think you should scream that.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe that's something you should talk to your therapist about.
Look, we always believe in getting professional
help.
advice.
Yes.
Yeah, because, we're just here to give you hopefully
general guidance,
a nudge, maybe.
A nudge in the right direction. Maybe we're way off base. We don't know. Because we're not professionals.
We're just vibing it in the moment. But, somebody like this, these are licensed professionals who are there on call.
With BetterHelp, you have really affordable access, because a lot of times, like when you see a therapist cost per hour, it's pretty pricey. Like my therapist that I've been going to is pretty pricey, but I have also used BetterHelp, and the therapists are great. Like the girl that I used, and by the way, you can switch therapists if one doesn't resonate with you. So the first one I got, I didn't really click with. And when you're doing this in person, like when you're not using a service like BetterHelp, it's hard to find a new therapist. So sometimes you just stick with one for weeks and pay a lot of money because you just don't want to go through the hassle of finding another one. With BetterHelp, it's really easy. If you don't click with somebody, there's another one right away that you can, have a meeting with and test out. And it's all under one monthly payment. And I found a therapist that I used for about a year, and she really helped me through some stuff. I also booked a vacation through one of her referrals. So it was like she was great at like recommending stuff too. Not to say that like all of them do that, but
was that the Costa Rica one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
My personal experience with BetterHelp and their therapists has been really great. They're all licensed individuals. They're licensed therapists. It's not like you're getting some random counselor. And
they specialize in trauma, sleeping, relationships, anxiety, stress, depression, anger, family conflicts.
And you can message them anytime. That's what I like about it too, is that if you have anxiety in the moment, you can message them right there when you are experiencing that issue and not have to wait till your appointment. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
Yeah, look, it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can actually be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy.
So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and shit they don't tell you, listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Steve.
That's BetterHelp.com/Steve, STEVE.
So when you need help, just remember Steve.
Okay, we are back, and I promised you to give you tips that might help. Maybe. Possibly.
Wonderful.
There's a slight chance that they could help.
Awesome.
A little smidgen of a chance.
That's all we can hope for.
Okay. And this is all just stuff that I put together. I wish that there were more studies or articles written. This is just stuff that has really helped me. And so that's why I'm like, maybe it'll help you. I can't like speak with super confidence because I have only known from my own life experience, but it has really, really helped me in the same way that I used to be a really messy person, and I still like naturally am kind of more of a messy person, but I've organized our house in a way where there are systems in place that when there's a mess, I can clean it and not get overwhelmed by it because I know that there is a way that it's clean.
Yes.
There are places, everything has a home, and there's a certain way that the house operates that it can stay clean. Finally. Once we get it back to that state. And that really, really helps me because it makes me feel like when the house is messy, that it's not always going to be messy, that there is a way to get through it and get back to the baseline.
Right.
And so with these systems for life, that's exactly how I feel. When everything seems messy and chaotic, I'm not as overwhelmed as I used to be because I know that I've created systems that once it gets back to the baseline, I can just start over again.
Makes sense.
Square one. Yeah. And so I also wanted to ask you about maybe if you had any systems that have worked for you because we operate very differently.
We do.
For me, if there's an area that's lacking, like I said, you can't control the results, but you can control the action steps. So if I was hurting in money, I would figure out what my spending habits were, a financial screenshot of that, and then try to spend less and tried to save. I'd set a little goal like, okay, I'm going to save 10% of each paycheck. And once I could do that, and I've done that for a few months, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to save 20% of each paycheck. And then, and then get on that system. And then like it builds confidence that I can do that and manage the finances. And then also I now have this little nest egg of savings.
I don't know that my method is as good as yours.
Okay.
Because I think I'm way too hardcore. Like if I find out that...
Well, you're way too sick, bro.
I'm way too sick, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Damn. Okay.
That's all I had to say.
Shit.
So no, but like if I just go to the extreme too much, I think like where it's like, okay, we need to spend no money. Guess what? Guess how much money I'm going to spend? 0. No money.
Yeah.
Like basically no fucking money. You know what I mean? It's just too much. It's ridiculous. It's not what people should do. So yeah, I definitely know that about myself now, so I can freely talk about it. Like I'm more aware of it. Because yeah, I used to just be like, I'll never forget like one time like years and years ago, like being at a store with my girlfriend and my my card gets bounced, declined.
Yeah.
And then I call the bank and then they're like, oh yeah, you got like, what do you call it? Where they take out money because you didn't have the money?
Oh, overdraft.
Woo! And they had like 4 of those and they were all $35 charges.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That happened to me. I cried.
I was like, how can you guys do that to me? I just declined my shit. Fuck you.
It's so mean.
And yeah, I found out later that like the check that I had put in, the teller had put it into savings.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even my fault.
Yeah.
Like I handed it to them, say put it in checking, they put it in savings. Then I go use my card and then they like charge me all the shit. So yeah, it was crazy, but it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And like I was so infuriated by it.
Yeah.
And I swore that it would never happen again. It's never happened again. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Because I just made sure that, I went too hardcore.
You went extreme.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I deal with things. I go a little bit too hardcore sometimes.
That's true. I'd say that's true about you.
Yeah. But I know it about myself now, so I try to be a little more moderate about things.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say maybe try one of my systems.
I think that's not bad. I think that's not bad.
Set little baby goals.
Yeah.
And then when you have achievable little baby steps like that, it just builds more confidence.
Yeah. And
it builds that area of your life too, like little brick by brick instead of, I got to build the whole house today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I have to do sports analogies, but you if you're down like fucking 27 points, you can't get that back in one series. You're playing football, like that doesn't exist. You get 7, maybe you get 8.
If you're down 8 buy-ins, you'll probably not get it back in one poker session.
There it is. Hey, if you're down on a DeFi protocol because you just fucking were rolling on Ether roll, guess what? You can't get it back in one roll.
And we have a lot of these analogies. Yep. So if you are just so interested in them, you can check out our Patreon. Really selling it. Okay, so yeah, I do that. If you're lacking in love, you like, okay, I'm gonna go on 1 date a week, or I'm gonna say yes to more social events. I'm gonna put myself out there more. I'm gonna be more open. Something like that. Okay, and then you just do it, and maybe you miss a week, and you're like, okay, but I didn't hit it that week.
Well, hold on, let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah,
because sometimes you do this, but then you're like, I'm a piece of shit. So how do you get out of that headspace? Because I've seen this happen to you.
So reverting back to these systems.
Okay,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So if I miss certain categories like all at the same time, it feels like I'm a piece of shit. But then I'm just go, okay, reset. There's this simulation that I do every morning. This poker.
This is how you do it. Then let's go.
And I like to do 100 hands, and it tells you all the mistakes you make. And sometimes I made way too many mistakes, and I feel like shit about it. But then there's a button that you press called change and reset, and I just change and reset. It's a brand new session now, and I start from the beginning. I'm like, I know what to do. Just change and reset. So I started doing that in life, where I'm just like, all right, change and reset. We know what to do because we know what to do. But this, I'm trying to give people, if you don't know what to do, here's a baseline system that you can incorporate so that you can change and reset and you won't freak out.
Love it.
You might freak out still. I still like freak out.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But you can change and reset. Yeah. But have you seen me freak out and not go back and
you always do, but I'm saying, how do you do it? Like for people who don't know, like the inside of how that works. I think that's really interesting.
If I didn't have these systems, I don't know. I would probably spiral still.
Yeah.
But I think having the systems. The other thing is developing routines that keep things in maintenance. For example, your physical health, make sure you're drinking half your body weight of water in ounces. That's kind of hard to do for some people. Like, people are like, I don't drink enough water and I don't know how to get more water in. You know what I started doing? I fill my water bottle at night before I go to bed. It's on my nightstand when I wake up. I drink the entire water bottle before I have coffee. And that's how I do it. So right away, I have 24 ounces of water in my body. Now I only need to hit 40 ounces more. So like, I refill that bottle 2 more times. It's there. And that bottle is going to get refilled 2 more times.
Do you think how the fuck did anybody survive when you can get 100 ounces of water a day?
It's not about surviving. It's about it impacting all of these different facets of your mental and physical well-being. You can't make good decisions when you're dehydrated. It's proven to put you on tilt.
I think my best decisions are when I'm dehydrated.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
No, and
I think I'm dehydrated
also
right now.
Dehydrates you is alcohol.
True.
So there's a lot of dehydrated. Everything that's like, oh, this impacts your decision making. It's mostly to do with dehydration.
Okay.
Drugs. Just cutting off oxygen to your brain. Oxygen is in water. It's the O part of the H2O.
I don't think that's true. I'll have to look that up.
Just like you just need water. You also need to lubricate your system. So your digestive system is all off too if you're not getting enough water. So that like causes constipation and it backs your shit up. Like literally your shit is backed up and it's poison. It's like it's just toxic to not have your digestive system working well. So water is really important, guys. Drink your fucking water.
I guess so.
It's not that hard. Just fill up water bottles before you go to bed. Drink it right when you wake up. I don't let myself have. That's another thing is like I give myself little rewards, but I have to do the hard thing first. So I don't get to have my coffee, which I need my coffee, but I don't get to have it unless I drink my water.
That's pretty good.
Because caffeine's also a dehydrator.
Well, I have to say I made drinking water kind of fun because I bought like my water buddy.
Isn't it fun? That's another thing is making the little things
making
fun.
It more fun.
I also
because I got my like water tumbler buddy and I like him. Yeah, it's fun.
That's how I organize the house. Is like I bought aesthetically pleasing things, and so I want it to be clean.
Yeah,
because it looks nice. Oh, and to like actually like clean things, I bought like really aesthetically pleasing cleaners.
That makes sense.
Because I don't like to clean, so if I'm gonna do it, I want it to be cute.
Right. Aesthetically pleasing cleaners.
Yeah.
Oof.
Things that I never thought like would really affect, but it really does make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I would never want. I need to be attracted to doing that activity. Actually, if you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about that too. You need to make yourself be attracted to doing those habits. It's one thing to be like, okay, I got to do these things, but it's another thing to like make yourself want to do those things. And every time you do those things, you're voting to be a certain type of person. Like, so I want to be the type of person that is well hydrated, and not just well hydrated, but is healthy physically. And part of that is getting enough hydration. So every time I drink my water bottle when I wake up, I'm putting a vote for the type of person that I want to be, which is a healthy person.
That makes sense.
And every time I do an activity, like going on my 30-minute walk a day, I'm putting a vote in the box that says, I'm a healthy person. Yes, I vote yes for that. And every time I don't do that, I vote, no, I'm not a healthy person. And so it kind of, if your votes are in the majority healthy person, you don't have to get 100% all the time. But if most of your votes are going towards being a healthy person, chances are you're a healthy person.
Right.
And that's all it is. It's like you don't have to be a perfect person. I think there's some people, a lot of people in my vlog channel comments that, when I came out with Fuck Perfect and all that, the jewelry, it's a reminder to me, but it also helped a lot of people because you don't have to be perfect in all these categories, but just if enough votes are going that way, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And if you missed and you like put too many votes in the other category, it's okay. You can start over. You know what to do. As long as you know what to do and you start going back that direction, I think that's really the main part. So 30 minutes of, I already went over that exercise and stuff. But I also, I read a study, not a study, but I read a tweet. It was a post by, do you know who Dr. Andrew Huberman is?
No.
He's a neuroscientist.
Huberman.
Yeah. But he's done a lot of studies on performance and mental state. Like, he went to Stanford University School of Medicine, but he does neural regeneration, neuroplasty, and brain states, and how stress, focus, fear affect that, and then how to get optimal performance. Well, anyway, he wrote a tweet, and the only reason I found this tweet was because it was kind of controversial. There was like a Reese Witherspoon retweeted it, and then some other person responded that like she's not perfect and she's not going to be able to do all that. But
holy shit, people are so rude.
Yeah, exactly. I still think it's nice to know this is a
guy so rude
that studies this is saying that this is like the best thing that can change your life for the better. Wouldn't you just like to know?
No, fuck her. She'll never be able to do it.
Okay, so this is what he says to do. He says, performing this changes everything for the better. Number 1, view bright light, ideally sunlight, in the morning for 10 to 30 minutes.
I love that.
Not looking directly at the sun. Don't be stupid. But like nothing that hurts you, but like, looking at natural light. And if you don't have natural light around you, get like one of those lights, those like, those sunlights.
Yeah, for sure.
That kind of mimic natural sunlight. Okay, so
if you're in fucking Alaska or some shit.
View bright light, ideally sunlight in the morning for 10 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I will say, ever since we moved here, where our house is so naturally lit, just in the living room drinking my coffee in the morning is just beautiful. I definitely notice an impact on my mental state.
Even just waking up in bed and having the sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best.
Absolutely.
It's the best. That's probably the best part of my day, like almost.
Yeah.
Like waking up and looking at the sunlight and being like,
at the blue sky and the trees. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Totally. Number 2 is cold exposure. This one I don't do, but he says number 2 is cold exposure. Either a shower, ice bath, or a 2-neck plunge in cold water for 3 to 6 minutes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, taking a cold shower for 3 to 6 minutes.
What is with these people? This is like my buddy Joe Tsikawa going to fucking waterfalls.
So you went on the other lady's side.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, what are you doing? Like,
well, it's actually
about? Why you gotta suffer?
It helps your metabolism. It helps a lot of things.
All right.
Okay. Number 3 is delay caffeine for 90 to 120 minutes post waking.
Hey, fuck this guy.
No, see, now you're on that lady's side.
Yeah, I'm with the person who says fuck Reese Witherspoon too. And while we're at it.
Okay, so while I have not been very successful at delaying caffeine 90 to 120 minutes, I will say that if I drink a water bottle of water and then this has happened like a couple times where I didn't get my coffee until 3 hours after waking up, it did improve my mental state. I don't know why.
But you still can't swear by it because it's such a habit, right?
No, it's such a habit for me. Yeah. And I don't like waiting that long because then 3 hours after I wake up, then it's almost lunchtime.
Yes.
It's going to interrupt my lunch. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do that one. Just no. I might try the cold exposure one, maybe. But the delaying caffeine, that one's too much.
How would you do the cold exposure one? How would you do it?
I can delay it an hour, maybe tops.
You gonna jump in our ice cold pool?
No. Just a cold shower.
Okay.
And then number 4 is no bright light or screen viewing between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. That's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. It's
You're a late night computer.
I'm a night owl.
It does affect because there's different frequencies at that time. It does affect your brain waves and your REM.
Blow me. Half of the crypto projects that I'm invested in are in Southeast Asia and Singapore and shit. So there's nothing I can do.
Listen, you don't got to argue with me about I'm not Reese Witherspoon. I'm in the casino until 4 a.m. I'm in the literal casino looking at bright lights until 4 a.m. So,
hey, true.
It's not.
Respect.
I'm not arguing.
Respect.
I'm just saying that this is a neuroscientist that has studied optimal performance, and this is what he says to do. And I promise the people to give them tips that might be helpful to them.
What does he say about having cat hair in your eyelashes?
Dude, I had that all fucking right before we started filming.
Good Lord.
You're lucky you don't have mascara on.
Yeah, I know.
It's a nightmare.
Good Lord.
Actual nightmare.
That's what I get for loving kitties too much.
Same. Okay, so I would like to know, do you have a morning routine?
Yes.
What's your morning routine?
Instantly wake up, check the markets. Instantly. It's the first thing I check.
So are you drinking anything? Are you eating anything?
I wake up, I roll over. Yeah, I usually have a glass of water by the nightstand, always.
You don't drink that water.
What are you talking about?
You don't drink that water in the morning. Be real. You've said that dust gets in there in the morning. What?
Oh yeah, if I suspect that a kitty has sloshed a little fucking head in it.
You know how many full cups of water I've taken
full.
from half full cups of
Thank
water from
you
your
very
nightstand,
much.
and I don't know how much you drank before you went to bed.
Probably the half of it.
I would say you don't drink water when you wake up.
I gulp it.
When you wake up, you do not drink water.
Yes, I do. You have to actually pay attention.
You
to
drink
this.
a gulp of water.
I do
and
every time.
And you call that drinking water.
It's
a gulp.
That's literally what it is.
No, wetting your palate
in
is
a court of law. I think I would be.
Wetting your palate.
I think they would all stand up and clap. I think I'd get a standing O for that.
Would you be open to potentially drinking more water in the morning?
Yeah, sure.
Because, your health is kind of impacts my financial situation too. If like you have some health issue, which between the two of us, you've had more expensive health issues.
Look, my mom will tell you, I have been prone to freak accidents ever since I was a kid.
Great. Love it.
Well, it just is.
Yeah, so maybe, do some stuff to prevent it. We can't control the results.
Well, look,
maybe
I
we
have
could control the
hereditary
actions.
shit, like my fucking kidney stone thing. Yeah, it's hereditary.
So maybe, drink some water.
Drinking water has nothing to do with kidney stones. I do drink water.
Okay, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying.
I know, but this is a big misnomer that everyone thinks like fucking kidney stones has to do with drinking water. But like I had 3 PhDs tell me
Listen,
it has nothing to do with it.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You have to drink water I don't get kidney stones and I still drink water.
We live in Nevada. If you don't drink water, you're fucked. I drink water. Don't worry about it.
I've only seen you really drink like sodas, Monsters, like mixed Crystal Light type of drinks.
Yeah, those are the fun. That's when I'm having fun.
Yeah, maybe like drink some more water, bud.
Dude, there's water. There's my water buddy next to me all the time. Water buddy is getting wrecked constantly.
Okay.
In fact, I'm the only one. I have to say this, not to put you on fucking blast, but I guess I have to because you're putting me on blast.
Yeah.
I'm the only motherfucking one.
That's not true. That
who
refills.
the
No,
Britter.
that's not true.
I am.
So
you barely.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna refill. I'm not gonna refill it anymore.
You always fucking take.
No.
You take. You don't give.
You know what you do? You fill it past the max line, and then I can't fucking pour it because it's past the max line.
No, it's because you're an idiot.
And the water goes everywhere. Well, so thanks a lot for that, pal.
If you're a moron, it goes everywhere.
Thanks for that, pal.
If you know that it's
what's
full
so
as
sad
fuck, then you know how to pour it.
Is that I've actually been refilling the water thing, and that you don't notice, and that you're still saying this it hurts my feelings.
You know what else?
So I'm not gonna do it.
Your parents told me you're a bad driver, so I think you're a bad driver.
Why are you pulling out all the guns? Who hurt you?
Because I don't mean it.
Okay.
You attacked me, so I'm just attacking back.
I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to better your health and do some preventative care here.
You broad shot at me.
No, I didn't.
It's fine.
You're just a sensitive little bitch baby. So then what do? You check the markets and then what?
Okay, check the markets. Yeah, so let's see. I go downstairs. I go to the pewters. Usually this is like an hour before you get up, at least an hour and a half maybe. And then check my emails. Isn't
it weird that you've been waking up earlier than me lately?
I know, dude. Ever since I moved to Vegas, I wake up before anybody.
Because I used to be the one that wakes up first.
I know.
For at least like a couple hours.
Dude, I'm first guy down the stairs every time. It's wild.
Almost every time.
Well, because you have done this amazing transformation since we have moved, especially, where you can now stay up past midnight.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It's really weird.
I am not used to you like this.
Me neither.
But you definitely need like 8 hours of sleep, and I don't. I get like 5 hours of sleep.
I absolutely need 8 hours of sleep.
And if I get 8 hours of sleep, I'm tired. So I need 5 hours of sleep, like, maybe 6. But like 5 or 6 hours is really good for me. And then I'm good to go because I think I have a good metabolism already.
Yeah.
So then
I don't think it has to do with metabolism.
Or whatever the fuck. I got a high motor, pal.
Okay.
High motor. But point is like,
tell me you have ADD without telling me you have ADD.
There you go. So then I usually go to the fridge and I get my caffeine. I get my little Monster Buddy. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I sip eat my Monster Buddy while I check on everything going on in crypto, check on the latest crypto news. There's so much going on in the market that like you really can't fall behind even if you miss a day.
Yeah.
So like, just checking up on all that, checking up on all my, my Crypto Corner Discord. I go to my Telegram groups. I'm like in so many of those. So it's just a lot, dude. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And then, depending on the day. So like, some days I have to do a thumbnail for us. Mm-hmm. Some days I have to like compile articles for JK because I might be hosting.
Some days you take the trash out.
Yeah. That just depends on what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that you feel pretty balanced in all of your life areas?
I would say I didn't until about a month ago, until about 3 weeks ago.
Which one was lacking?
Doing physical health stuff. Yeah. I have started to work out again, which feels great.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when we first moved here, it just took so long to move in and stuff. And like your routine gets off kilter.
Yeah. That's exactly how I felt.
And yeah, I just got into a little slump with that. And then I've been doing it again and it feels great already. Like like honestly, it's crazy how fast. Because I think I can get into a routine in 3 days, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like if I just do it like 3 days in a row and then like my brain wakes up and I'm like, let's go do this fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
So ever since I've reestablished that routine, it's like, okay, great. And I'm already feeling better.
I think I've just recently started feeling like that's why I'm kind of doing this topic, because I feel like when we moved in, one, it was the holidays, so it was already crazy.
Yeah.
But we were also moving to a different state. And you didn't have to do any of this stuff, lucky you, because I'm the shit. But I had to reset up. I had to cancel our old health insurance, find new health insurance, which is not easy to do. Like there's no manual on how to freaking find that when you don't work at a job already that gives you that benefit. Like to find independent health insurance and like from a legitimate source, and that's an okay price, is like really hard. And then getting our driver's licenses and setting that all up, and figuring out all our auto payments for our bills and our gas bill. I had to reset up our gas, our electric, our trash, like our water. There's new things because we're living in a house now instead of a condo. Like, so there's maintenance things that need to be done, that
HOA stuff,
yep. Paying all the HOA. One of the HOAs, you have to still physically mail a check.
It's so weird.
So I had to figure that out. And then pool maintenance, finding someone to do that, finding someone to do like the lawn maintenance, because otherwise the HOA is going to get mad at you for that. Yep. So yeah, there was just a lot to figure out. And then I felt like my house system wasn't set up yet, because I knew where everything was in the condo and like everything was set up in a certain way to keep it clean and organized and everything. We didn't have any of that when I moved in, so I had to like establish new systems.
And by the way, if I was to do it, Nikki would flip the fuck out.
Oh, so yeah, because you're not good at that. It's not.
So, but the point is like Nikki has to establish these systems, or else Nikki freaks the fuck out.
Because then I revert back to chaos.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I know what life was like before I had systems, and it was unpleasant.
But let me just say, because that's quite the list.
Yes.
Anytime Nikki asks me to do anything, I do it. But there are some things that she just feels she has to do herself, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well,
there's some things, so our jobs are split too, and like, where I manage our finances, and I wouldn't expect you to just, like, if I threw it at you, to know what to do. Like, that's not really fair.
Like with which one?
With our finances. Like, to organize our finances.
Yeah, organizing finance, no fucking way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no way.
So there's just... There was jobs that I have in our relationship that it's not your fault that you don't have to do that job, because I already take that on because it's more of my strength than yours.
Yeah.
But it just was overwhelming when we first moved in to try to keep up with that and regular work. And I had like jewelry launches going on, and I had like family stuff. We had like visitors, we had guests. So I had to set up the guest room, and like I want to set up the guest room. Obviously, I don't want you to set up the guest room. I want to do it. But it's just like a lot all at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it did throw me off a lot.
Yeah.
Is that the rest of your morning routine?
So, yeah, my little brother, Kenny, I usually check in with him on what he's looking at. And then, yeah, I check in with my whale boys. And then... It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah, this stuff. This isn't as relatable, but I'm glad you have a system. And
I do. I do it every time.
Trying to figure out, like, if you had like if life kind of went off the rails for a month, like you would have a system to fall back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing every day. I can't do anything else. I have to do my routine.
Yeah.
If I miss my routine, I feel like a piece of shit.
See, I feel like you've always been like that.
Yes.
Like where you have a routine or a ritual.
If I'm on vacation, I'm actually kind of miserable, same as you, for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Because I need to still do my routine.
You need to get situated.
Yeah. And honestly, if I feel like there's something that I haven't done, or something I should have been focused on. Why do I deserve a vacation? Like I don't.
Yeah,
like
we've gone over that before.
Yeah, but
I thought you got rid of that.
I did, but there's remnants of it just because my goals are bigger now.
Yeah.
And so my I do take more time to appreciate where I got, right? But I definitely see my goals bigger and I go, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I agree when I'm in a building phase, which I feel like I'm in a brand new building phase. I'd prefer to take little mini vacations, like little mini weekend vacations, as opposed to like one big week-long vacation like we used to take.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Oh, and I check on all my minors too. That's big.
Okay, I got it.
Sorry.
All this crypto stuff is like all in one category.
Well, you just asked me my routine.
Well, if I told you each individual like makeup thing I do you care? It's all makeup.
Well, I tried to kiss you on the cheek before we did shit that I'll tell you, and you told me that.
Well, why didn't you tell the people that?
I messed with
That's
the
very
pattern.
important.
What was it? Pattern? Prime?
Okay. Yeah, you said no one would get it. No one would understand.
No one will get it.
So he kissed me when I hadn't set my makeup yet, where I had foundation on, but I hadn't like put powder. There was no setting or anything. So he kisses me and it just like, there's no foundation there anymore. The girls understand.
Okay.
Well, and some of the boys.
My bad.
Okay. So do you want to hear my morning routine?
Yeah.
I'm only sharing this because I think it will help someone out there, hopefully.
Okay.
Like otherwise I kind of think these are boring.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I already know my routine, so it's boring.
I understand.
But so I have a weekly maintenance things that I have to do, like water the plants and change the kitty litter and all that stuff. But then I have my daily thing that kind of like I try to check on all of those buckets in a small way daily, so then they don't like build up a lack, right? So I wake up, I feed the cats, I drink my 24 ounces of water, I have my coffee, and I either journal or I read while I'm drinking my coffee. And then whichever one I didn't do, I will do the other one before bed. So if I read while I was drinking coffee, then I'll journal before bed. If I'll journal during coffee, then I'll read before bed.
Love it.
I try to meditate every day, even though, I don't really particularly like look forward to meditation. I always like procrastinate on it. But when I do it regularly, it does make a difference. So I really I've tried to make meditation fun by walking to the lake to meditate.
Oh, cool.
Because then
like
I'm
that.
Getting my exercise in, and then I'm also getting my meditation in a like pretty environment. So it makes it more, I don't know, like I'm looking forward. It's like it's a treat.
Love it.
And then I do my 30-minute walk or run, and then I start work. And then my nighttime routine is not as solid, but I really try to make sure I do my skincare every night. When I sleep with my makeup, it's bad. So I try to like...
You do that often?
Yeah. So I actually have really expensive skincare products, and kind of on purpose, so that if I'm not doing it, then it's like, why'd you spend money on that if you're not actually going to commit to it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it like makes me commit to doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You trick your brain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you paid for this quality stuff, but it's not going to work if you don't do it every day.
Right.
So you're wasting money if you don't do it. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to do this.
Makes sense.
Even drunk Nikki will wash her face now.
I've seen that.
Yeah. Unless she's passed out somewhere.
She passes out a lot.
So then I try to do a nighttime meditation, and then I read or journal, and then I try really hard not to look at screens within an hour before bed. But it's hard.
That's the hardest one.
That's really hard.
That's the hardest one.
Why do they make it so, like 10 p.m.? Come on. It's so hard.
Yep.
I do try not to like scroll on my phone in the dark before bed. I think that's the biggest part.
Okay.
Like right before bed, falling asleep to it, that's not good.
Agreed.
But yeah, that's why I'll try to read or journal before bed.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know if any of this was helpful at all, but I felt like these were things that I wish that I had known a long time ago. Read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He's really good at helping you put together systems and stuff like that. But I wanted to like just kind of touch on the why.
Yeah, that makes
like
sense.
The balancing and the like, hey, your life doesn't have to spin out each time, because one, you have to accept that you're not in control of the results. You're not in control of the outcome. Just accept like that whole mental thing. that's a huge part of it.
Very true.
Is accepting that. And then what you are in control of is your actions, and your actions can have a defined system that will give you the best shot over time at having positive results.
Yes.
Overall in a balanced life. So I hope that helps.
Oh, right. By the way, favorite part of my routine?
What?
I wake up. Well, I'm already up. I hear you come down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I hear like a trail of kitties coming behind you.
Yeah. Like a
and
parade of kitties.
I get out of my computer so fast. I can't wait to see the fucking kitty train following you.
Of kitties.
It's hilarious, dude. We have so many cats. It's like absurd.
Yeah.
And they follow Nikki like she is like the Maharaja, bud. Like it's crazy. She's the conductor of the train, and like she's leading the kitties, and they follow her wherever she goes.
Yeah.
If she wants to walk for some reason, instead of going to their food, she just walks in a circle around like our living room.
Yeah.
And then through our kitchen, they'll just follow her the whole time.
If I go to my office and like check on the computer really quick before I go downstairs, they'll all be in my office.
Shit is
waiting.
So funny.
It's really funny.
And by the way, you're thinking, why doesn't Steve feed the cats? Oh, because they won't eat it.
Yeah.
They won't fucking eat it.
It's not about the food.
It's not about the food.
I don't know why.
It's their routine. They have to do
They have a routine.
They have this like, mama feeds us. Daddy does not feed us.
Yeah.
Weird thing.
If dad feeds us, it's weird. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it until mom wakes up.
They're going to go back upstairs. they'll all wait on the stairs for Nikki. There's no point in putting food out. It'll just sit there.
See, I think cats they must know something because they have their routine. And if we leave for 2 days, they get so thrown.
Yeah, they do.
And they're really fucked up about it.
Yeah.
But then they go back to their routines and life's happy again.
Shit's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So there you go. All right. We'll see you
guys.
I
hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please be sure to like it, subscribe, rate us on iTunes. I don't know. All that stuff. Share it with friends or family. It does help a lot.
Do things that help, please.
Do things that help us, please.
Thank you.
And that help Mark. Honestly, like just help Mark out. He's struggling.
Oh my God, he needs it.
Guys, he's struggling right now. So please help Mark. And
but is Mark an idea?
We'll talk about that next time.
Is Mark a person?
We'll talk about that next time.
All right.
See you next time. Bye.